Chapter 4. Masterful Marketing Finds Motivated Sellers. The success or failure of your marketing plan will mean the life or death of your new business. That's a strong statement, isn't it? It's also a pretty cold observation, almost kind of scary. That would imply that this should be the most important section of the book. Here's what a truly masterful marketer, Ron LeGrand, has to say about it.
Well, there's actually 5 steps to becoming a successful real estate entrepreneur. Step 1 is locating prospects. Step 2 is pre-screening prospects. Step 3 is constructing and presenting offers. 4 is follow-up. 5 is to sell quickly. However, without step 1, locating prospects, the other 4 make no difference, because if you don't find people who want to do business with you, pretty soon you won't be in business. Spend more time on marketing and you'll find the rest of the business becomes a lot easier.
Obviously it's the first thing you need to do, but really it's the most important thing.
Absolutely, because without it there's nothing else to do. Spend some time and a little bit of money and effort locating prospects, get the phone flooding with calls, and then pre-screen out the dead wood quickly and focus on the few that want to do business with you. You'll find the rest becomes very easy.
The real bottom line of marketing is, are you finding enough flexible sellers? You don't need many. Put out enough marketing to attract 1 flexible seller per month. Talk to them on the phone to work out a good purchase price, monthly payment, term, and down payment, which would be none is the best down payment. These are the 4 Pretty House deal points. Then go see the house and get the paperwork signed. It's that simple. So often we are bound and determined to overcomplicate things, especially you thinker brains. Don't be offended now, I'm one of the tribe. I'm a thinker brain myself. Now you'll realize how simple it is the first time you do it yourself. Any imagined fears you're harboring will fade quickly as the deal comes together and your tenant buyer hands you a big check. Just do that once per month and you will get rich. It's that simple. So simple, yet absolutely vital. That's why we are devoting such a large section here to marketing. So what are the best ways to attract sellers? Marketing for real estate investing involves 14 main marketing methods. These include everything from business cards to internet ads, from roadside signs to letters, and everything in between. We'll get into those methods in detail, but let's start with the big picture.
The 4 great principles of marketing. Marketing principle number 1. Marketing is first and foremost.
Your marketing plan and methods should always be the primary consideration of your business.
That's because to be successful, a business must have revenue.
And no revenue can be generated until you find customers who want your product or service.
That is the task of your marketing.
Through marketing, you need to find enough suspects to uncover the few prospects you need each month.
Without customers who want what you're offering, you have no business. That's why
marketing is first and foremost. Your monthly goal is to talk with at least 20 people, and hopefully as many as 50 or more, who have a house for sale.
You'll also need to talk to that many buyers or possibly many more.
The key with buyers is that we've automated the whole house selling process in amazing ways with our 1-hour home sale system.
So when you've got a home to sell, take advantage of that system.
Now, if you look at real estate investing as a business opportunity, you realize that with some biz ops, you need to find hundreds or even thousands of customers each month.
With real estate investing, you only need to find 1 to 3 sellers and 1 to 3 buyers each month.
You just need to get your marketing systems into place so you can maintain that consistently. If you do that, you will get rich.
Marketing principle number 2. Trial and error is vital.
So to generate reliable revenue each month, you need to find, as we said, 20 to 50 potential sellers and probably 20 to 80 plus potential buyers.
And you need to do it consistently.
Implementing some combination of the main marketing methods will bring you those prospects consistently.
You just need to figure out what exactly is your winning combination.
You need to crack that code. And through what process? Trial and error. We'll be showing you in great detail how to implement every one of the main marketing methods.
And as you implement them yourself, you will get some specific results.
A certain number of sellers and a certain number of buyers will respond to your marketing messages.
If you've never marketed for home sellers and buyers before, then you'll have some learning curve.
By tracking your results carefully, you can really accelerate or compress that learning curve.
You'll quickly figure out what methods are getting you the best response.
Which ones are finding you the qualified prospects that you need to succeed?
For the principle of trial and error to work for you, just focus on these 3 steps to trial and error success.
Number 1, implement 3 to 4 marketing methods, ones with histories of success.
Number 2, track your results.
Use our special marketing tracking chart. Now, Ron loves that form.
Number 3, make smart adjustments.
Stop doing what's not getting results and do more of what is getting results. It's that simple. We teach all about making smart adjustments in your business and your life at our amazing Total Success Workshop. That's free to Wolfpack members, including you, since you got this book. We teach this amazing event 3 times per year. Call our office to get signed up free at 888-RICH-NOW. That's 1-888-742-4669. And you can always go to our website at thewolfcouple.com. That's thewolfcouple with 2 F's.com. So just remember to track your results on our marketing forums so you can really take advantage of principle number 2, trial and error.
Marketing principle number 3, it's a numbers game.
For every marketing method you implement, you'll get a certain response.
Through trial and error, you'll figure out where the most and best leads are coming from.
Then it's just a matter of scale, of increasing or decreasing the amount of messages that you're putting out into the marketplace.
The more messages, the more marketing pieces, the more responses.
It's a numbers game. If you send out 500 letters to a list, you will get a certain response.
If you send out 1,000 letters to that same list, you'll probably get double the response.
So it's simple. If you're not getting enough leads, you need to distribute a higher number of marketing pieces.
You need to get out more signs or letters or flyers or other methods you choose.
No matter what, you need to commit to doing whatever it takes to get the number of prospects you need to be successful. Now, that being said, you want to, and maybe need to, be a little careful with your marketing budget.
Another system as a companion to this one, target marketing on any budget.
That system actually provides you with over a dozen pre-structured marketing plans with budgets on each from $100 to $2,000 per month.
That is so helpful when deciding on your own monthly marketing plan.
You don't need to spend a lot of money on marketing, though we do have students who regularly spend over $10,000 per month. Actually, a lot of our students who own HomeVestor franchises spend that much.
Then we have some successful students who spend less than $100 a month.
It's unusual to spend more than $1,000 per month, let's say, unless you are doing tons of letters or radio, TV, or a lot of Facebook ads, internet ads.
Just keep in mind, when you double the amount of messages, you double the cost and you also double the return.
So when you find a marketing method that produces, you can just turn the leads on and off like a faucet with your marketing dollars.
Turn it on full blast.
Marketing principle number 4. Consistency is crucial.
You need to maintain focus on your real estate marketing and really stay consistent.
You can't dally around with a little here and a little there and just hope deals will drop into your lap.
Each month, you need to decide on your marketing plan. Remember that sample plans are in your target marketing system.
Then apply your plan consistently.
If you want consistent results, it's simple. Market consistently.
Many of the responses to your marketing will actually not be from the prospect's first exposure to your message.
Depending on the marketing method, it may be the second or fifth or even 10th time.
Sometimes it takes many exposures before they are finally compelled to contact you.
This is true for certain methods like business cards, and it's especially true for roadside signs.
Signs always work for buyers, but the first couple of times you put out seller signs, it might seem like they don't quite register with the public.
Then, after your signs have been out there for 1 or 2 months, or 6 or 12 months, the quality calls really start coming in.
Now, it's unlikely you'll ever get 50 seller incoming calls per month just off roadside signs.
If you can get 10 to 20, that would be awesome.
These are usually high-quality leads that pay off with a high conversion ratio.
In fact, 6 of our first 10 deals came from roadside signs, right, honey?
Yes, that's true. And that's all because of Lynette. Guys, in the beginning, she always made sure to set her alarm for 5:30 a.m. every Saturday so she could make sure to roll over and kick my butt out of bed to go put out 50 signs.
Hey, I did my part.
Yes, yeah, that's right. It's true, guys. I was very focused at the start, and I personally put out about 200 signs per month for quite a while. Now, of course, I carefully tracked all our results for trial and error purposes. It struck me how it took a while for the phone to start ringing, but pretty soon roadside signs turned into one of our most reliably producing marketing methods.
So even if the response starts a little slow on some methods, give it a chance.
Keep getting the right marketing messages in the right amounts to the right people via the right medium, and the response will come.
So there you have it. Those are
The
four great principles of marketing.
Now we're going to be honored by the wise words of a true guru of real estate investing, Ron LeGrand. We met Ron over 15 years ago, and he proceeded to absolutely and irrevocably change our lives for the better. Ron's bought over 3,000 homes, and he's still investing today. More than 500,000 people have attended his trainings, and he's the nation's leading authority on creative financing pretty house deals. Folks love Ron for his straight-talking Southern style and admire him for his expertise on all matters real estate. He's the man who first showed us the path to our success in creative financing deals. Since then, we've grown to be great friends. We teach on stage together at a couple dozen events every year, and we even go on vacation together. Last year we took one cruise to Cuba and another to Australia, Tasmania, and New Zealand. And in about 5 days we're going to be leaving for Europe on a Rhine River cruise. Ever since we met Ron, our real estate investing business has exploded, and we've branched off in so many directions, including writing this book. We've become millionaires, we've done over 700 house deals, and the snowball really got rolling with marketing. That's how we found our first seller and our first buyer. That's how we made our first non-refundable option deposit for a whopping $9,000. I'll tell you, it doesn't seem like so much now, but that $9,000 was the biggest and sweetest paycheck I had ever seen in my life. It wasn't even the cash so much, it was what it symbolized to me. It meant that a whole new life was opening up to me, Lynette, and our family. Where there had been gloom, the horizon ahead suddenly looked so bright. I truly believed it then, and it has come to pass since. We really got our life back, and that first deal is such a crucial moment in that process. What is at the very foundation of our success and has sustained our life-changing real estate investing business all the way to today is marketing. So we work with our family and acquisitionists to make big money on autopilot and really live our dreams, all thanks to marketing. So let's hear from our great mentor and close friend now, Ron LeGrand. Get ready for Ron's business acumen, practical advice, and homespun wisdom on the timeless subject of marketing, specifically marketing to find creative financing deals, sellers who want to sell you their house. Now let's listen in on Key Points of Marketing by Ron LeGrand.
I've been in business for over 40 years now, 22 of it in real estate, and the rest in other businesses, and I learned a long time ago the first step is to find somebody who wants your product or service. In real estate, we have to find people who have a house for sale and get them to call us. If we miss that step, the rest is irrelevant. Spend more time on marketing and you'll find the rest of the business becomes a lot easier.
Obviously, it's the first thing you need to do, but really it's the most important thing.
Absolutely, because without it, there's nothing else to do. And I talk to a lot of students and I find that when they're having a problem within their business, it's usually they didn't locate enough prospects. In other words, they didn't crank up the buying machine and get people to call them with a house for sale. And they're trying to do business with 1 or 2 or 3 prospects they got this month, and that's just not going to cut it. Our job is to get quite a few people calling us, knowing that most of them are going to be a worthless suspect.
Right.
There's a prospect and there's a suspect. The majority of the people who call are going to be suspects. The minority are going to be prospects. If you understand that our job is to quickly pre-screen out the suspects and get rid of them and only deal with the prospects, you'll find the business becoming very easy and in fact consuming very little of our time. What a lot of people do, they spend a lot of time chasing dead ends. Pretty soon the day is gone and they've accomplished nothing because they miss the 2 most important basics of the business. A, Spend some time and a little bit of money and effort locating prospects, get the phone flooding with calls, and then pre-screen out the dead wood quickly and focus on the few that want to do business with you. If you conquer those two, you'll find the rest becomes very easy.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what percentage of the people call you. It matters how many deals you're able to do in any given month and how many dollars you make on those deals.
Right.
You know, I could live with a month where I only get one call if I make $50,000 that month, but that's not what I want our students to do.
Right.
I want them to get several calls, and the definition of several is at least 10, 15, 20 calls a month from sellers. And frankly, if you're not getting at least 15, 20 calls a month from sellers, your buying machine is broke, you need to fix it. And if the 15 or 20 calls is not getting you the kind of revenue you're looking for, then take a look at the next would-be problem. Am I getting calls that could be deals? Am I missing those deals? Or am I getting calls that are worthless? And do I need to crank up the buying machine more? Or better yet, do I need to change the message to a different media? There's three very important things in marketing.
Right.
Message, market, and media.
Message.
Our message is simple. We buy houses, we can buy them quick, we can do them painlessly, we can get you out and you can walk away today.
Right.
Our market are obviously people who have a house for sale. And then our media is where a lot of people get tripped up, which is the purpose of what we're doing here today. We're going to go over several pieces of that media to allow the message to be delivered to the right market. Key is getting the right message to the right market. And if we are successful in doing that, we can get a lot less calls and get a lot more money out of each deal. Some of the things you're going to use are going to generate a lot more calls, and a lot less of them are going to be motivated sellers. Others will generate less calls, and more of them will be motivated sellers.
I see.
So in a nutshell, if you spend $1,000 a month marketing, driving sellers in, and you make $30,000 that month, all the rest of those numbers are irrelevant. I have people making over $1 million a year that don't spend more than $1,000 a month driving sellers to them. Our objective is to let our listeners pick and choose 2 or 3 of the things that they want to use. Pick 2 or 3 at work. The key is you got to get stuff out there continually working. You can't just stick your toe in the water and learn how to swim, you know. And sometimes you're going to have to change the things you do. Sometimes it's not right. Sometimes you make a mess out of it because you didn't get the right message at the right time. And then if you just hang in there and keep the messages that are working, and change the stuff that's not working, keep an eye on what you're spending where, and pretty soon it won't take you long to figure out what works best for you where you live. And I'll be the first to admit that some things work better in other areas than they do in your area.
Yes. What was that? That was trial and error.
Trial and error.
That's right. And
Well, actually, I've never made any mistakes in my marketing whatsoever. Yes, this is a great form. All this form says is, I now have the ability to keep track of what I'm spending on what media and measure the results so that I can quickly determine what works and what doesn't. When it all comes down to it, it's a very simple process. Find out what people want, find out a way to get the message to them, and give them the choice of whether they want to respond or not. The exact same thing holds true with people who have houses for sale. All your marketing messages must have what's in it for me within the message.
What's in it for
People
me?
could care less about you. They care about them. So all of your marketing messages should clearly state why I should do business or why I should call you.
It's a unique selling proposition, and those are words you use in your advertising to immediately tell people why they should contact you. For example, when I'm selling a house, I put the word lease purchase, no bank qualifying. So that gets the 80% of the marketplace that can't qualify to call me because of my USP. I have restaurants. We have to spend money to get money, and we don't get any $20,000 paychecks in the restaurant. None. So it's a totally different world. This thing called real estate is not like most businesses. We put almost no money out, and we get a big chunks back with no risk. No risk. It's a beautiful thing.
The 14 marketing methods. Number 1, business cards, professional and marketing cards. Number 2, internet marketing, Zillow, Facebook, Craigslist, and many more. 3, website. You must drive traffic to your website to get good results from it. Number 4, roadside signs. Kind of a pain actually, but reliably productive. Number 5, outbound calls. This is a mandatory method for beginners, calling Zillow, Craigslist, and other for sale by owner leads. We call them FSBOs. Number 6, vehicle signs, full wraps to just removable door magnets. Number 7, classified ads, both online, of course, now that's the way to do it, and in newspapers and magazines as well. Number 8, postcards. That's less expensive direct mail than a letter. But of course, number 9 is letters, and the key is the target list that you send to. There's pre-foreclosures. We have a series of pre-foreclosure letters. Out-of-state owners, that's often a productive mailing list. Expired listing letters, now that's one that you would get from a realtor, and we have specific letters designed for each of these. So contact our office, guys, if you need these letters and want to get moving with the marketing. We actually have a system called Masterful Marketing that we created with Ron LeGrand. So there's also 90-day plus listing letters. Now that's a very targeted list and very productive many times. Number 10 in terms of the marketing methods is flyers/door hangers. This is a favorite method of ours, and guys, you just find someone to distribute these, and these work great for sellers and buyers too for open houses. Number 11, customer referrals. Warm leads equals a high conversion ratio. Now, if a customer is telling someone that they should work with you, what could be a better, warmer lead? Number 12, ant farm. Get other people driving around, driving for dollars for you. We also call those folks field agents, or sometimes folks call them bird dogs. Okay, number 13, realtors. Now, realtors know about deals. You don't pay the realtor unless you actually make money, and this can be a very productive deal. This is a professional who's essentially working for free for you until they can find and close a deal. And number 14, advanced methods. Those would include things like TV, radio, billboards, bus benches. That's a little more advanced and sometimes more expensive, so we're going to tell you to hold off on those initially. Actually, over the next pages in the book and over the next pages here as we talk to you on the audio book, we'll expand on these top 5 marketing methods. We want you to start with these 5 to get going. Now we'll have the experts, that's Ron LeGrand, Lynette Wolf, my lovely wife, and of course me, Brian Wolf, and we'll be giving you our individual key points on each one of these 5 marketing methods. We'll also go into our quick start marketing plan. With the proven samples in this book, you can really get your marketing and your business going. Now, please be aware that we do have that entire home action step system. Now, I like to call them home action systems. I don't like to call them home study systems because I don't want you studying. We want you taking action. So we call it a home action system on marketing for sellers, and that is complete with all digital versions of these marketing samples. So you don't have to recreate them. They're actually already created, and all you have to do is insert your contact information. So that's very helpful. So lots more great training, of course, from us and Ron is included there. If you want more information on that, our office, of course, is 888-RICH-NOW. Now, always track your marketing efforts and your results on our marketing tracking chart. That's also in our system, but you can create any kind of chart. Anytime you distribute marketing materials, you want to keep track of when, where, and how, and what kind of results you get. This will help you to create and implement the most effective marketing campaigns possible. So review the 14 marketing methods. You're going to choose 3 to 5 to start with, and actually you're going to choose the 5 that we've actually designated for you here. Soon you'll learn through trial and error which is going to be paying off and which will work the best and get you the best results. You should definitely be passing out 3 business cards, and on your business card it should mention you pay a $350 referral fee to everyone you see during the day. So if you run into, just going to your dry cleaners, out to the grocery store, wherever you go, people you talk to, and any kind of groups, that's a way that a lot of people get their first deal is from their social circles, just handing out business cards. So everyone you see during the day should get business cards. We filled that one in for you already on the marketing form in the book. It's also easy and free to put ads on Craigslist and other internet sites, so everyone should be consistently running ads there. You're going to be using internet as number 2 out of the main ways that you're going to be getting your marketing out there. Remember, on Craigslist you need to refresh your ad often to keep it near the top. Sample cards and sample ads are right here in this book. Marketing method number 1. Let's dive into business cards. Marketing method number 2 would be looking at outbound calls to FSBOs. So that's an important one for everybody to do. Marketing method number 3, internet ads, Craigslist and Zillow and that. Then you're going to decide marketing methods number 4, 5, and 6. Now let's jump into business cards. We're going to get into professional and marketing cards, and we're going to listen to what the experts have to say, starting off with the marketing master himself, Ron LeGrand.
Business cards. They're one of those things you add to your marketing toolbox and you hand them out everywhere you go. The purpose of a business card is not to sell anything. The purpose of a sign, a flyer, an ad is not to sell anything. It's strictly to get a customer to call you. What has to be in that business card is a triggering mechanism to get the customer to respond, and that's called a unique selling proposition.
Oh yes,
Again,
a USP.
A USP.
I love those USPs.
In fact, I would suggest that all of our listeners go to the system and pick out a card that they like and adapt it to their need, and don't try to reinvent the marketing wheel that we already know is successful. The more you can telegraph of what's in it for me onto this card, the better chance that customer's got of calling you. So you never waste the back. For a few pennies more, you can use the back and the front.
Right.
The front is simply to drive them to the back. So I want a good, strong message on it, and I want a card that is easily recognizable and grabs attention. Never use all caps.
Oh,
Okay.
never
Use
use all
initial
caps?
caps. All caps are hard to read.
Okay.
Now there's a couple words like cash and free that work with all caps.
Okay.
But for the most part, no matter what kind of advertising you do, signs, posters, flyers, cards, whatever, never use all caps.
Okay.
Just be hard to read. It should be big, bold, black, easy to read words. Don't get creative here. We're going to get to some bright cards.
Okay.
We're going to go to bright colors. Let's make them bright colors, not boring colors. Now, a lot of people will settle for these because their printers don't have the kind of paper in stock when they walk in the door.
All right.
Any printer can order fluorescent colored paper. It costs a little bit more, but it's worth it.
Right.
And that's another thing. Forget about what these cards cost. It's what they're costing you if they don't get done and they don't get out that's important. Now, what do you do with these cards?
Yeah.
Here's the key. Distribute them. It's a secret. Get them out of the box and get them out. Everywhere you go, the cards must be left. In restaurants, give them to waiters. Put them on top of their urinals so the guys can grab them when they go. Pin them up to bulletin boards. Send them in your bills when you mail out your bills to local people.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Hand them out. Get them out everywhere. Make it a habit to get out at least 10 business cards a day. And I promise you, if you do that, you will buy at least 5 or 6 houses a year from these little old cheap business cards.
Face-to-face contact in marketing is just awesome. That's what makes business cards so special. Plus, you can give them out anywhere, anytime, to anybody. The response can be enthusiastic and immediate. That person or someone they know may have a house for sale. And if they don't, you mention your juicy finder's fee for the feature. Business cards are a lot of fun. You can get to talk with people about what you're doing, let your enthusiasm and excitement shine through. You are out there offering people a great solution and they'll thank you for it.
Brian's key points. Business cards are one of the least expensive and yet most underused marketing methods of all. You just choose the text for your card from the samples provided here, order them from the printer, and soon they're in your hands. As Ron says, the cards obviously don't do any good while they're in the box. You need to distribute a high number of these inexpensive marketing pieces. Whether you bump into somebody you know, or meet someone new, or you interface with anyone throughout your day, this is what you should do. You should automatically be giving out 3 cards is what we like to do. And this can include your dry cleaner, any server at any restaurant, anybody and everybody. So we actually have some detailed techniques for dispersal, so you can process large volumes of cards. You can talk to store managers in your farm area and acquire permission to leave 20 to 30 cards in a holder on the counter. Then go back in to check on them and remind the manager of your referral fee. Now with that approach, you can disseminate 200 to 300 marketing messages into the field every month, if not more, just going to stores. And a lot of times you generate the lead right when you're talking to the individual person, so it's the initial interface. We have our professional investor business card sample here in the manual. It says we buy and sell houses on the top, and it's got your company name. It's going to have your name as the owner / manager. Here's some USPs I like. So USPs again, unique selling propositions, pretty or ugly, any area, No commissions, no closing costs, no hassles. I always like that one. Now, if you're going for buyers too, and we do have one little buyer note on the front of the card, it says buyers, bad credit, okay. Remember, that changes the whole formula. There's a lot of buyers who have rough credit who would love to own a house. Then you're going to have your phone number on the bottom. Now, as to the back of the card, here's some great messaging there, and we always want you to use the back of your card. Otherwise, it's wasted marketing space. So you can have messaging like, when you need to sell or buy, we are the answer. No commissions, no closing costs, no hassles. We buy houses in any area and any condition, but you don't have to be a distressed seller. We often pay full price. In fact, one of my favorite messages is sell now for full price. We can even buy your house if you owe more than what it's worth. That's another message we like. You may be late on payments. The house may need repairs. We take care of everything to make it fast and easy. Now, that's all targeting for sellers. Let's think about some targeting for buyers. We say we have great rent-to-own homes too. Bad credit, okay. Get a nice home now or get a deal on a sweat equity home. So that'll pique some people's interest. They can get a deal on a house and do the work themselves. Again, you put your phone number and your website there, and this is where you mention your referral fee. Pass this card to someone we help, and we pay you $350. So that's a great message, and that will have your marketing messages proliferate because people want to make that $350. So the business card here is the first one to pass out to any personal or professional contacts you have, making sure all the folks in your social circles know you are looking to buy and sell houses. Many of our students' first deals came from people that they knew or who knew someone trying to sell, so tangentially they got a hold of them. With these warm referrals, you've already overcome the "can I trust you" objection. If the numbers work, many times someone you know can quickly lead to your first deal. You'll also use this professional card, which is similar to an attractive realtor's card, with your sellers and buyers. You'll use the next marketing card with a fluorescent front and a black and white back to distribute around your farm area. You can leave it on counters, post it on bulletin boards, etc. It attracts attention at a distance, so that can be very helpful. We do have two examples here, and on the fluorescent card you're just going to have a simple message on the front, "We buy houses," and then on the back you're going to have messages like, I'll read a common back of a card. Do you own a house you need to sell now? Home need repairs? Little or no equity? Behind on payments? Divorce? Estate sale? Out-of-state owner? We're really hitting everything, as you can see. Vacant? Bad tenants? Need debt relief? Relocating? Job transfer? Oleans? So there's a lot of them on there, okay? So there's many different needs for people. So any one of those questions or needs we can answer with the way we do it. These are common problems that can happen to anyone we see on the card. We buy houses from people in situations just like yours in all areas and price ranges. We pay cash and close quickly as 9 days if needed. We handle all the paperwork and arrangements. We are not realtors. We are investors who buy 5 to 7 houses per month. We offer a quick sale with no hassle so you can get on with your life. We are the best way to solve your problems with one easy call. Call us now. And again, the same message at the bottom. Pass this card on to someone we help and we pay you $350. So those are our great business card samples. The second one is something you can focus on later. Initially, the one we want you to focus on and get going with right away is get that professional card printed up so that you can start giving it out to everybody. Number 2, internet marketing, which would be Zillow, Facebook, Craigslist, etc. The internet as a marketing medium has obviously truly taken off in the last 10 years. At minimum, you should be currently using Zillow, Craigslist, and Facebook. Beyond that, you could be using other for sale by owner websites. There's real estate websites, even eBay can sell real estate. A huge amount of this marketing is free. You may also want to post Facebook ads with which you can specifically target geographic and demographic groups, such as likely to move. But that does cost some money. You can actually gauge exactly how much you want to spend on that, and so you can test it. A worthwhile Facebook ad posting will probably cost you anywhere from $100 up to even $1,000. Now, of course, you can spend a lot more than that, But make sure that the costs, before you start spending too much money, you got to make sure that you're getting results. You can also get involved and post messages in Facebook groups, which is free, but you need to be a little careful with that. To get a lot more crucial information and all the detailed steps, again, refer to our internet marketing system. We have an internet marketing system with our son, Cale. Now, he is a whiz on the computer, and he guides you through the whole Zillow, Craigslist, Facebook, and how to use those mediums to get your message out on the internet. Cale actually got a full scholarship for ASU Honors College for Computer Science, and so he really details it and he explains it really clearly. So even if you're not a whiz, he is, and he explains it really well. So just call our office for that, 888-RICH-NOW. 3, websites. Must drive traffic to the website to get good results.
Well, websites are an important part of our business, as they are most any business nowadays. A lot of people will go to your website nowadays to check you out to see if you're real before they'll even call the phone number. I find that many of my students are getting at least half their deals coming through their websites nowadays. And that number is increasing as time goes on. Besides, think about it, if they go to your website, then they don't have to talk to anybody. It's non-threatening. They can do it at 3 o'clock in the morning and then make a decision on whether they want to call you or not.
Right.
But the websites are not complicated. Here's what should be on it. Number 1, a homepage. The homepage is just who you are and what you can do for them.
Right.
It's the same information you'd have in your letter or your other advertising. Your USP up there. Grab their attention. Very few graphics, maybe your picture, but loaded up with copy, not graphics. The second thing that needs to be on there is a property information sheet.
Oh, yes.
In other words, are you interested in selling your home? If so, fill out this information and press send, and we'll respond to you immediately. So really, that's all you need. Homepage telling them why they want to do business with you, and then a place for them to fill out the information to send it to you. Website won't work unless people come to it. So now you spend a little time learning the art of driving traffic to that website, and you'll get a lot of good deals directly from the website. It's all autopilot. Comes right back to the theme. The less I do,
Yes.
the more I make.
Oh.
Guys, now you thinker brains can wait a whole month or more on this. Don't do it. Get to it. The quickest and easiest way I know is to sign up with Ron LeGrand. Once you get the darn thing up on the internet, you can just lay back and collect all the leads. If a prospect looks at your website, then he types in all his information, you know that they're serious. You'll want to advertise your website address on all your marketing materials, so a lot of leads come in without even advertising. Your website is like your vehicle sign. Get it done once, get it done quickly, and then move on. The leads will take care of themselves. Depending on how you are hooked up, you may not get a flood of leads pouring in over the internet. I've also seen a lot of good man hours go down the drain while investors are supposedly checking their website. The quality sometimes depends on how they found your website in the first place. Since the prospects have already looked at your website and then decided to type in all their information and stuff, they've already pre-screened themselves somewhat. There are definitely deals floating around out there on the internet. Go get them, you guys.
Brian's key points. If you don't have a website address to give out, especially if a seller or buyer actually asks for it, it can really damage your credibility. You just don't seem as professional. When a prospect finds your website through the address on a marketing piece, it increases response rates and reinforces your messaging. The professional appearance of your website also affects the response, as well as bolstering your credibility. In fact, a lot of times that's the best objection answer for credibility objections is, hey, have you checked out our website yet? Try to pick a URL, which is your website address, that's easy to remember and hopefully doesn't need to be spelled when you give it out to somebody verbally. The only real messaging you need on your website can be copied directly from the back of our professional business card, which we just went over. So no matter what, just make a commitment right now that your website will be up in less than 2 weeks. Just commit to getting that done, accomplish that, and then I'll know it's not holding you up like it held me up, okay? It's better to just accept that a good website is a necessary cost of doing business, get something up very quickly. It's like rent for a brick and mortar operation if you had a business that required a location. So get that website up, it's part of your infrastructure. Promote your website when and where you can. No, although we don't usually put our website address on signs, roadside signs, but they're on your business cards for sure. Follow up as quickly as possible on any leads that come off your website, because if they hit your website, they're probably checking other websites, so get back to them quickly. Also, just remember that when a prospect calls your phone, you've captured their contact info. Unlike a visitor to your website who may screen you out and actually never speak with you, and you aren't left with their contact information. So that means that your phone number should be bigger in your marketing, much more prominently displayed. You'd rather have them call than go visit your website. My main tips in conclusion are to get your website set up within the next 2 weeks or less, and when leads come from your website, respond to them ASAP. Number 4, roadside signs. They're kind of a pain, but reliably productive.
I've never put out roadside signs where I didn't get calls on them, and it's one of the most widely used tools in our arsenal with my students nationwide. By roadside signs, we mean the little, what are they, 18 by 24 signs, little fiberboard signs that you can order from sign shops. So you're either going to nail them up somewhere or you're going to stick them in the ground, one of the two.
Right.
Both of them should be done. If the sign is out on the street, it's easy to read, big bold block letters, nothing fancy. Do not put graphics on the sign. I would make them double-sided. Some students make them single-sided. I will tell you this, they work, and they work very well. In fact, I have students driving their entire business by doing nothing but putting out signs on a regular basis. Now, should you, as the real estate entrepreneur, be the one putting out signs? The answer is no. You should hire somebody to put them out. A good place to get a sign distributor is this people who put them out for builders. Anybody who puts them out for builders, they'll charge you about $1 a sign or so to put it out and take it up.
Yeah, I've seen those people. I've seen them in their truck.
Or just get some kid or something that needs something to do. You do not have to have signs out to run a very thriving business, but it is one of the things that's very inexpensive, and it works better than a lot of things work as far as getting sellers to call you.
Right.
I've been at this a long time, and I've taught an awful lot of people how to find deals, and signs are always right near the top of that list.
For most investors, roadside signs are the most challenging marketing to distribute. Number 1, you really should be getting out there at the crack of dawn every Saturday morning, and many of us aren't too crazy about climbing out of bed and getting up that early on the weekend, okay? We used to do our signs on Friday night, but we learned quickly that there was a lot more cars out there and it was really dark out. And you're pulling off, parking your car, crossing streets, so the less traffic, the better. And putting up the signs, especially if the ground is hard, is no piece of cake. But if you can get signs up consistently, you'll have my respect and some great leads too. Now remember, you can always hire someone else to put your signs up. Signs get calls. It's that simple, you guys. A bunch of our first deals were from signs. These prospects aren't usually shoppers. They saw your sign at the right place at the right time. Or possibly maybe they've seen 2 or 3 signs and they finally decided to give you a call. There's a good motivation in this group, you guys. These guys are motivated callers.
Brian's key points. First, I want to point out the messaging you'll see on our sample roadside signs. Often you might see a sign that says, "We buy houses cash." When seeking creative financing deals, you will never use that word on your signs, cash. We don't pay cash for houses, and we don't use our own credit either. That's the undeniable beauty of creative financing. We like to say, "Sell now for top price," or other USPs you'll see on the samples to follow. How many signs should you put out per week? Depending on your farm area, how spread out it is, traffic, and installation challenges, shoot for at least 20. Now 40 to 50 is a bigger challenge, but I will tell you that when we started out, it was the only method that I felt like I could count on 100%. So I was always out there, and I was very anxious when I wasn't getting like 50 signs out most every weekend. Now I'll tell you that I would get up at 5 a.m. on Saturday, grab a water bottle, throw the signs in the installation kit, the hammer and everything we need. Depending on your procedure, you're going to throw that stuff in your car like I did, and your installation kit might be easy. It might be zip ties too, because that's a new way that people use that is a fairly easy installation. Now, if you live in an area with hard ground like ours, your installation kit may be a rubber mallet and a big screwdriver, something to punch a hole, or even a drill. People sometimes use portable drill to drill a hole in the ground. Now, it's distinctly helpful if you have an accomplice, a wheelman, as they say in the old heist movies. They pull up, you hop out with the sign, then you put it up, and they come back circling around and reacquire you. So if you can work it out, it makes the job a lot easier and twice as easier, quite a bit safer, and cuts your time by probably 60-70% if you can get somebody to go with you. Now, you may get anything from a 2% all the way up to like a 10% response on your signs. Remember, marketing principle number 4, consistency is crucial. So some prospects will only respond after seeing your sign on multiple occasions. When you practice consistent placement, signs are consistent performers. And we all strive for that consistency. And so we have some great samples in here, and just make sure you stay with the same colors and same schemes so people know that's you repeating it. So you might have it say, "We buy houses, sell fast for top price," in your phone number. And some signs are simple with good USPs that look handwritten, so you have some fonts that look handwritten. Or you can find a different font that looks handwritten like that. That one actually in the book is MV Boley is what they called in Word. Now, we displayed the website on some of our signs, and we used to do it more, and usually, like I mentioned before, usually we do not do that now. If you have a website you love and it's a great website address, go ahead and put it on your sign if you want to do that, okay? Just the reason behind it, we just are concerned people are going to go on their smartphone and we'll just lose them to the internet, and they'll go all looking for houses for sale, and then who knows? And we never captured their phone number, as I said. So, one way, guys, if they call you, you get them, and if they go on your website or try to go on your website, you just don't capture them. Some investors like the signs with the big bold block letters, such as you see in the example in the book with the Impact font. Okay, this is Impact, it's word font, and you can read the sign from farther away, which is a big plus. You can read it if you're sitting all the way across the intersection in a car, which I like. But like I said, some investors like that informal, do-it-yourself look of the supposedly handwritten signs. So some more messaging you would want on your sign would be "Sell your home now," no commissions, no closing costs, no hassles, and then your phone number. You can also mix and match your USPs, your marketing messages, but keep your font style and colors consistent, like I said. Most investors believe the best sign for attracting attention in terms of colors is yellow and black, and that really will attract attention and deliver the message. I know there's plenty of other investors who like white with blue letters. Sometimes you can actually do like a colored box with white letters inside it, that looks kind of good. Just make sure you stay with the same theme once you choose what you like, and despite whatever your different design scheme is. Make sure it's legible too, and consistently deliver it into your farm area. It'd be great if you could do 20 signs a weekend. Like I said, marketing principle number 4, consistency is crucial. So don't change your sign design, and consistent sign placement truly builds credibility over time. People think, okay, this is a serious person. These signs have been around for months and months. Okay, now hopefully you get calls before that, but that's what really builds that credibility. Number 5, outbound calls. This is a mandatory method for beginners, so you're going to be calling Zillow, Craigslist, and other FSBO leads, for sale by owner leads.
The deal is, I want you to call all of these ads and fill out a property information sheet. I want you to get the answers to these questions. So now you're calling on their ad, and this person is filling out the property information sheet, and they're disclosing clearly that they're calling for their boss to get some information, who will be in touch with them after they get the information. I want you to certainly call just FSBO ads, just for sale by owners. I don't know, depending on where you live, you may have anywhere from 10, 15 calls to make to 100 calls. And I would suggest that you call them on Sunday night from 6 to 9 and on Monday night from 6 to 9 p.m. because that's when people are home.
Right.
That's when you're going to get a hold of them. Okay? Until you exhaust all that list, and if they can't reach them then they can try during the day. Maybe on Monday, during the day. Call them until you reach all of them you're going to reach. And believe it or not, you won't reach them all. Because some people just aren't reachable. It kills me. They run an ad, and they're never around to answer the phone. And you wonder why houses don't get sold. It's because usually the person in charge of making the sale. It's a numbers game. Again, the keys. If you're going to do this from your home, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work because you're going to find something better to do, and you're going to find some reason not to do it. The only way it's going to work is if you pay somebody and make it their responsibility to deliver those leads to you, and if they don't, you fire them and get somebody else.
Right.
You do that every week, you probably won't need to do anything else. You can call the properties that are for rent as well, because many landlords are motivated landlords. They got this house, they put a tenant in it, they have no clue what they're doing, they've never taken the time to learn landlording, they figured that maybe it just comes from God or something. And here they are with these tenants that are causing grief in their life, and now you want to let them know that you're interested in buying houses, and sure enough, you will buy some from the for rent column.
Right.
That's a good tip. Most landlords who are advertising for renters in the paper have a miserable life. So you come and put a little sunshine back in their life.
Outbound calls. All you have to do is jot down any numbers you see on signs. Then start calling all the FSBOs, the for sale by owners, and the houses for rent that you can find. It's usually better to have prospects calling you than vice versa. You will have to weed through some unmotivated, annoying sellers. You don't have to wait around for the phone to ring. Plus, this builds your mental toughness. It's good for you. Even so, if you know someone with a big mouth like me, you can hire them to call for you. You're usually not going to convert a high percentage of these, and the seller or two might get a little bit grouchy with you. That's okay. You need some crazy seller stories to tell while you're on your yacht.
Brian's key points. Outbound calls are also referred to as FSBO calls. That stands for sale by owner. It means opening calls are being made to sellers who have personally advertised their home for sale. These sellers have not listed their home with a realtor, they've decided to try to sell it themselves. That makes them prime candidates for us for many reasons. Now usually we like it better when the seller calls us. When do you think the seller is more motivated and you're in a better bargaining position? When you call them or when they call you? Well, when they call you, of course. However, with outbound calls, you don't have to wait for a response to some marketing message that you have out there. You can take the initiative and make the contact yourself. Therefore, you can turn this method on and off easily. You should pretty much always have it on. You can make these outbound calls yourself or you can delegate them. Outbound calls to sources such as Zillow, Craigslist, and other FSBO websites can be a bonanza. The most challenging part of getting started doing outbound calls is that you've got to be a little mentally tough to pick up that phone. Either that or delegate to a virtual assistant or a local FSBO caller or acquisitionist. It's not so tough when you've got the whole script sitting there right in front of you, and we have a section coming up with the scripts you're going to be using. It's actually good for you to just start calling and using the script. It's a good experience to call these leads in the beginning. Now you need to fight through some unmotivated sellers or have your delegated person do it. Remember, it's all a numbers game. If you're calling these leads consistently, you're going to get deals. So just keep plugging away. Now in the book we have your opening call script, which we also call the FSBO opening call script, and that's perfectly designed for you to call leads that you find wherever you find them, including even just signs in front yards. Now we've covered the first 5 of the 14 main marketing methods. These are the most important ones to focus on at the start. So we're not going to confuse you by delving into all the other methods. If you want further training on all the marketing methods, complete with digital samples, we mentioned our Wolf LeGrand Masterful Marketing System, and you can get that just by calling us at 888-RICH-NOW. Call us now and we'll answer any questions, and we'd love to talk with you.
What I love about marketing is that it generates a lot of revenue if you do it correctly.
Brian's key points. We are so glad you got this amazing and comprehensive book. Now follow the marketing training here, choose those 3 to 5 methods to start with, and take action immediately. Our goal with this book is nothing less than changing your life. I hope you learned facts here that when you apply them will forever change your life for the better. Get leads pouring in, and then everything else will take care of itself. We can't wait to hear from you with a great testimonial letter.
We both had an awesome time with Ron LeGrand, and we want to thank him for all his incredible money-making wisdom. Ron has been a wonderful mentor and a really good friend to both of us. So in closing, I just want to say to you that opportunity is knocking. In your hands right now is everything you need to open the door to this amazing new life, the life of your dreams.
All you have to do now is take action.